Welcome to Nerd Cave Show. Here it is, Tuesday night, 7 p.m. And we've got some pretty interesting stuff to talk about, I'm not going to lie. This is some cool stuff. So, thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to turn it on over to AudioCraZ right now.
Who happens to have happy juice in his face, and it has helped him make him very happy.
He is very happy.
I got one of my favorites here tonight.
Oh, yes, that's
tasty
this
goodness.
is some good stuff. Now, see, we can see the bottle, but the show graphic is right over the label.
Well, I got so much... Whoa. Sorry, forgot. Left my phone. I got a happy
there's stuff.
box here that I'm... Here. Ding.
Ding.
How we like that. Yeah, a little vanilla. There we go. Is that better?
Perfect.
This is actually one of my favorites. This is Jameson Black Barrel. Jameson. Nom, nom, nom. Yeah, but this is actually one of my favorite whiskeys. And it's just because it has that, the way, they do it in a charred barrel, and it just gives that tastiness. Tasty.
I have grown very fond of the Caskmates. Yeah, I know. But
they actually have two different kinds, and we've tried. I can't remember which one we tried. The stout one. There's an IPA one.
I've seen the IPA one. They have it at one of the grocery stores, but I haven't gotten it
almost wanted to try it, but I don't like.
I'm kind of nervous.
hops.
I'm not really an IPA person myself, but why not? You know, I mean,
he goes, bring that to the next meeting. I wish
that would make an interesting meeting.
That would make the meetings quite more entertaining.
But I have noticed that the Caskmates, the stout edition, is really good mixed with some sweet and sour. It makes a great whiskey sour. So
Really?
Oh yeah.
All right, I have to try that. That's kind of my thing. Is
next week I'll bring some sweet and sour, and we'll do a little mixer. And
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me do this right. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another wonderful, happy, and full of happy juice.
Happy
Nerd Cave
juice.
Show.
We're juiced up over here, if you can't tell.
Oh, I needed it. I was having one of those evenings, my week has not been going pretty good. It's just that today was a bunch of running around, and I didn't quite get all the notes and stuff done. We got notes, we got things to talk about, we got plenty of things to do, but I just didn't. You know how you get to the point where you want to, you got to put this much into doing something, but you only got a quarter of the way or halfway through it, and you're just like, you're at that point. It's like, yeah, I can do it, but I'm not going to be completely happy with myself because I didn't put the full effort into it, because I just couldn't. It wasn't that I didn't want to, I just couldn't put the time into it. So that's kind of where I'm at, and then happy juices make me feel better.
Happy juice will do that. It's happy that way.
Yeah, we are here to have another happy evening. Beard, how has been your week?
My week has been okay. It's going through all this stuff. It's still a little stressful, but I'm holed up with some good people, so I can't do a whole lot of complaining, and I'm still trying to keep my hands busy. We lost our coffee pot the other day.
I saw that, your post on the coffee pot.
Yeah, it was kind of sad because it was that morning I was trying to make coffee, and it just didn't happen. So we had to go and get another coffee pot, which was not a bad thing necessarily. And the old coffee pot I turned into a lamp. I got pictures of it up on my Instagram, and I got some more work to do to it, but I'm thinking...
Yeah, you can't, unfortunately, you can't find him as Beard and Gary. You have to find him as Memento Mora.
I'm going to change that.
Here's the thing. You go to AudioCraZ, if you go to AudioCraZ.com, you can find a link to his Instagram page off the website. So you can click that and find him, or Memento Mora. You'll find him there. He's there. He's just...
I like being complicated.
That's exactly where I was going with it. He was just like, if it ain't confusing, it's just not the beard.
That's right. Yeah. The beard is confusing. I've toyed with the idea of taking a break from the beard, actually, for a little while.
What?
I know.
No.
Yeah, well, it's kind of one of those things. Some people get bored when they got nothing else to do and they shave their head. I'm already bald, but I got all this.
Yeah, it's because the hair traveled south. So
yeah, exactly. It all stopped growing
we're
up
grateful
here.
to keep your pants on because we're afraid we will see a Wookiee. But
that's a whole different beard. But
yeah, tell me about it. He's got braids.
There's
where there shouldn't
beads
be.
And everything down there. It's crazy.
He bent over. We saw cornrows. Yes, I went there because, Happy Juice.
Welcome to Nerd Cave Show, folks. You never know what we're going to talk about here.
Yep,
we don't even know what we're going to talk about.
I'm really bad at having the filter, and once I start, getting Happy Juice in me, the filter starts to erode away.
It erodes. That's a good way to put it.
It erodes. It eventually comes back, but it erodes slightly.
Oh, man.
Oh, speaking of eroding, I think we need to talk about this.
Eroding. I like how you put that. That's a good segue.
Billy Mitchell's back in the news again, or back in the limelight a little bit. Those of you guys don't remember, Billy Mitchell, he was the one for the longest time, held the highest record for Donkey Kong on the arcade. And it was a record that was held on by a website that manages most of the gaming world records for actual arcades, original coin-op arcades. And I don't know if they carry much of it anymore, but it's called Twin Galaxies. For the longest time, he had his videos up, and he held the record. Well, people started analyzing and looking at those and started questioning them because they didn't quite look right. Even though they were done on a VHS tape, they didn't quite look right. Well, come to find out, it was almost completely proven that the videos were doctored. They were spliced. So after a long, I think they spent like a year and a half investigating a bunch of his records, and a bunch of people went through it. Like they were literally pulling the audio from the video and analyzing it in software and seeing where the audio changes. In certain areas, they were going frame by frame, and they found out that not only were they able to identify that he was using an emulator, but the way the emulator drew the sprites and the way it rendered the game frame by frame, they were able to identify which version of the emulator he was running. So
it's complicated then.
It's complicated.
Yeah.
So after a big long ordeal, I mean, he did, and he was he's an entrepreneur. He basically sells hot sauce, but he does know how to play. He is a very, very good Donkey Kong player. But the fact that the videos he submitted to be recognized for his high scores were forged. So therefore, upon finding that, his records were all stripped.
Yeah, his titles and records, yeah.
His titles, his highest scores got stripped. And not only that, Guinness Records stripped him of his titles as well.
Yeah.
Because they were using Twin Galaxies as their reference point of, they recognize it, so obviously it must be true. So once Twin Galaxy lost it, Giz goes, you're not a record holder anymore. So that all came down. Well, in September of last year, of 2019, him and his Billy Mitchell and his lawyer followed a lawsuit against Twin Galaxies in September of last year. And oh no, that's when they announced.
Yeah,
they were going to take him to court. Well, they had already filed suit in April of 2019.
Yeah, April.
Basically, to avoid California's statute of limitations running its course. It was served to Twin Galaxies this February. So in February they got served.
Yeah.
And I think it's in June or July. In
July. Yeah.
July is when the court date is going to be held.
Yep. So that should be interesting.
It's really going to be interesting. I'm scared to know what's going to happen because, one, I'm curious on what grounds he thinks he can. And it also depends on what information he has, what correspondence he's going to use as evidence in the court case. But it really does. I'm scared to know where this is going to go because, as we all know, in court, things don't always go the right way. They go the legal way, but the legal way is not always the right way.
Yeah, the legal way is, yeah.
And what I'm worried is Twin Galaxies is going to be forced on some little minor technicality to reinstate him and they will have to go through another way to disprove or it. I don't know, and I don't understand why they can sue him. How he can sue? I mean,
it seems to me like. I mean, they obviously had guidelines. Guidelines is not the right word. I'm sorry. I'm drawing a blank right now. But a system, some type of criteria that they were using. It had to be original software, hardware, whatever. It seems to me like if it was clearly evident that it was other than original software and hardware that was used.
Well, here's the thing. The only thing that would have proven Billy Mitchell's story is if he did not give them original tapes, and I could have swore I read somewhere that he even stated they weren't original tapes. And
I want to say I remember hearing that the last time we spoke about this, because I remember
it's been a while. It was last year when we talked about it whenever he got stripped, and it was a pretty big deal because Billy Mays. He went around the world. I'm the record keeper for Donkey Kong and yada yada yada. I mean, he went to other countries. You can see him. He was shaking his hands with so many people, and he was using it to help sell his hot sauce. Well, I'm assuming what it is, his business is kind of dried up a little bit. So he, it was like 2 years ago was when Twin Galaxies. I think it was a while ago. Yeah, it was about 2 years ago when we talked about it. And Twin Galaxies completely stripped him of the Donkey Kong, or basically all of them. Not only that, because of that and what they were able to identify, they were able to. It basically was like there's no doubt in our minds that these were all emulators. These were not on hardware. He lied to us. You were not only he was not only stripped, but he was also prevented from entering any new scores. I do think I am going to say that was wrong. I do believe that if someone gets all their titles stripped, that's one thing. But I believe that they should have a higher criteria, or maybe they do now. I don't know what their criteria is for submitting scores. But I believe that if he's going to he should be allowed to enter in a score. But it should be under special circumstances. He has to go to an arcade of their choosing. So they set up the arcade. You come and play in the arcade. We'll record it, and then we'll authenticate your score. I believe that should be fair. I believe if he wanted to prove himself, he should go to they should set up a scenario and go, look, we're going to strip you of your title. But being as you submitted obvious forgery, if you want to submit, honestly, it could have been turned into a huge PR job, whatever. I don't care. It would have been big. And honestly, I think it would be cool if someone lost his record, and if he still says he's good. There was a video he done afterwards, and he was playing again. I honestly think they should allow him to under special circumstances.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Look, if you want to prove yourself, fine. We'll set up the arcade. We'll set up the cameras. You come to us and play. If he declines then, fine. Goodbye.
Yeah.
But if he accepts, then whatever score he gets, I mean, he can practice all he wants beforehand. They're all original arcade cabinets. Give him a couple of practice tries right off the bat, to get warmed up, and then I'm allowed to.
That's fair. Elu Turtle says that's fair. If he did it before, then he could do it again. Yeah.
Yeah, if that's fair, if he did it before, then he could do it again. Exactly, and actually he posted a video. I remember watching a video he had posted, and he went through, here's the cabinet, here's the boards.
Yeah, I remember watching that one,
Yeah, he posted after the fact, and then they panned out, and he started playing. Here's the thing. I completely agree with them. I 100% completely agree with Twin Galaxies that they can strip somebody of their title if there's enough evidence to warrant it. I completely agree with that. But in order to submit, I believe there should be certain circumstances that special criteria you must meet in order to resubmit after being found a forge. after submitting forgery. You basically, if you really want to submit your scores and you do think you're good, you have to take that little extra step this time. Because we awarded you, we were giving you a little leeway. We give everybody a little leeway at the beginning, but if you're really that good, you're going to have to meet us now. And I think that would have been fair. As far as I'm concerned, I think that would be the best. Let him do it again, but but let them control. I think Twin Galaxies or Twin Galaxies should have somebody that they say, look, you set him up, we will completely agree with whatever your finding is. Give what we call a controlled scenario.
Now, Retro just asked, how can the score be any different from anybody that's beat the game and got the princess? Wouldn't all scores be the same or very similar?
No, because there's ways you can there's tricks in Donkey Kong. Go and watch it. There's tricks you can get extra points. And remember, the game just keeps looping. So there are ways of continuing getting scores. There's also ways to get, like, instead of doing it this way, if you do it this way, there's a few, instead of 100 points, you get 200 points. There's some tricks in Donkey Kong where you can get extra points. Watch it. You'll see some. If you go and watch speedrunners, you'll be amazed what you'll find. Some people will find out. One, it'll show you how people are able to figure out fake speedruns and stuff like that. But the high score videos, watch them. Oh, they're so fun to watch. They're so amazing to watch. Just watching, even the old school stuff, even though they're low resolution, it's still cool to watch. Retro, I've never gotten to the princess, so I wasn't sure. I think, remember the old 80s games, I think it just kept looping. You put in a corner and you play until you die. So they basically set it up that way, where the game just get to this level, that's it, let's tell this level, all right, back to this level, this level, and you just keep going again and again, and there's little variables that increase the difficulty as you go along.
Yeah, and they render it differently and change the color here and there, yeah.
So, yeah, in July we'll find out a little bit more. I really, really hope he doesn't win in court, because I don't think anybody should be able to. And from what I understand, Twin Galaxies did a really good job on the wording. But I do believe, I'm a strong believer of second chances. I really am. So I believe that if he really is that good, and let me toss these over here. I don't know why I even left them here. If he's really that good, he should be able to give it a chance, but under controlled scenario. Not submit a video anymore. You have to go to a place where they've set up, or they have an arcade set up, ready to go, that they said, yes, this is actual hardware, and you go play on that. And I don't see why that should be an issue. If he doesn't want to do it, then fine, he forfeits his chance. Yeah. Sounds good to me. I mean, I'm all right. So AMC, we were talking about that, and you brought this up. Yeah, I didn't know about this. So, well, you go ahead and go with this one, because you were the one that brought this up to me, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Well, it's an interesting situation. AMC, AMC movie theaters are not happy with Universal, the production company, because at the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic, when movie theaters were all shut down, Universal decided to take a chance and release the Trolls World Tour movie straight to streaming. Just simply because I guess they didn't know exactly how long movie theaters were going to be closed, and they took a chance. Well, I don't know numbers, but as I understand, they made more than they were expecting to, but that is another situation. This story here is AMC has basically informed Universal Studios Films that their movies will no longer, they won't play any more of their movies. I don't know if it's going forward or if it's going to be for a while, but they're...
Basically, what the AMC Chief Executive Officer Adam Aaron goes, and this was a letter addressed to Universal Studios Chairman Donald Langley. AMC believes that this proposed action to go to the home and theaters simultaneously, Universal is breaking the business model and dealings between our two companies.
I can see where they're coming from, but
here's the thing, and I can their response to it was like this. The whole point of us releasing this was because people are at home.
Yeah.
And I can kind of see that. I don't understand. I'm a little confused why AMC is getting upset. Are they worried that this is going to be a precedent?
I think so. But, I mean, to me, it seems kind of like they're shooting themselves in the foot, AMC is, because, I mean, it's not like the movie theater experience is going to go away. I don't think anyone's going to want that to go away. There are still many, many people, myself included, Ray included, that want to have that big screen movie theater experience. But there are a lot of people that would prefer to watch a movie in the comfort of their own home or somewhere else where they can do what they want and, be comfortable in their own way. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I see where AMC is a little angry with this, but at the same time, like I said, I think it's kind of like they're shooting themselves in the foot by they're just not going to carry any more Universal films in their cineplexes. I think this might be going overboard a little. That's my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is AMC, Regal, and Cinemark have already said that they do not expect to open theaters until late June or July.
Right.
So I can see Universal's, hey, let's get this out here. Here's the thing. They need to make some money. They've invested a considerable amount of money into producing these movies, and all the movies that were set and ready to go, are now having this huge gap. And the problem is all these, there's going to be a bunch of movies that will probably never get to see the light of day because of what's happened. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, they can only push so many movies back. Now, there's a couple of movies that had a production date that they were wrapping up production on. Yes, those got pushbacks, and some of these movies can push back. But there's going to be some movies, unfortunately, are going to get fallen off. They're going to fall off the list, and they're going to go directly to pay-per-view. I think the whole point of them doing Trolls was just get one of those, because they could have released a lot of movies.
Well, they did. They released a handful of movies.
Which ones were they?
Bloodshot. I saw Bloodshot. I streamed Bloodshot. I paid the $20 for it. My family sat and watched it.
Here's the thing, though.
It was a great movie, great experience.
I could have swore I've already seen Bloodshot.
I don't know if it was a remake or not. I can't speak to that. I can personally say I had never seen it before.
Because I watched it on Amazon. I paid for that. I watched it. I literally sat there and went, I could have swore I've seen this movie before.
Maybe you read the comic and it just seemed familiar. I don't know. I mean, maybe you had. Maybe it's a remake of a previous movie.
I'll have to look, but it did. To me, it felt like a movie I've seen before. Honestly, that's the way I thought about it. I thought it was just like a movie I didn't mean to buy.
Yeah. Now we got a couple of comments here. Retro Obsessed said, "Sounds like AMC is just money hungry." I'm not going to say money hungry. I mean, I can understand as a business. I would not be happy if we're in an AMC situation. I'm not saying I would react the way they are, but then again, maybe I might. Until I'm in a situation, I don't know how I would react. But I do feel that they're overreacting a little bit. Then we've got Ellen says AMC is pissed at all the money they lost to Amazon. Yeah, I agree with you there.
But the thing is they've already been losing a lot of money to Amazon. Mm-hmm. The movie theater business is really, really starting to get.
Yeah,
it's been hurting for long before this ever happened.
It has been, and this actually sparked a conversation at home. We were talking about the fact that these movie theaters, if they want to keep their business going, they're going to have to step it up. They're going to have to find new ways to make people want to come to the theater. Now, like I said, there are going to always be people that want that big screen experience. And yeah, I agree with you, Ray. They've got movie houses now they've got bars. Some theaters have reclining seats or like little love seats or kind of things. And that's great. People are definitely going to be attracted to that. Mm-hmm. But there are still going to be a large amount of people that would prefer to sit on their own couch, eating whatever it is they want to eat, drinking whatever it is they want to drink, doing whatever it is they want to do while they're enjoying a movie. And is it fair to them that just because it's been done this way, a movie gets made, then it goes straight to theaters, then after a little while it goes to streaming or home video? I mean, maybe it's time for people to have a few more options at the beginning of it.
Well, we've had a few more options. And I know the movie theaters have been kind of They haven't had the flow that they've had over the past years because live streaming has really put a damper. I think what it is they're kind of seeing more hurt that if they're going to be releasing movies at the same time to streaming, which
I don't see how it's going to cause that much of an issue.
Because that means, especially if people get Netflix, and I know I'll do this. If there's a movie that's going to be released at the same time at the theaters and on Netflix, I won't go to the theater to watch it. I'll watch it at home. I can see them, and honestly, that makes sense to me. And that does make me kind of scared. I do think that, yes, I believe Netflix should have their own exclusive. I would love to see Netflix movies. Some of these Netflix movies are absolutely phenomenal. I think they'd be great in the theater.
Oh, yeah. No,
I'd love to have
absolutely.
some experience, but they just haven't quite done that yet.
But see, I hear what you're saying, but I still think that there are enough people that really, truly enjoy that big screen experience to where even, like, let's say Universal released, we'll go with Trolls World Tour. Let's say they released both of them in the theater and live stream at the same time. It may just be me, but, I mean, there are a lot of people that won't go to a theater because they don't want to deal with crowds. You don't want to go to a theater, pay for a movie ticket, spend all that money on popcorn and whatever, and then end up, someone brought little Timmy, and little Timmy is for some reason having a difficult night and is, upset or crying or whatever. Or you've got someone in the movie theater that loves to speak along with the movie and loves to react and whatever. Not everyone enjoys that. So a lot of people don't go there for those very reasons.
Well, Ellen posted it. She goes, they need to consider the price point of going in public as opposed to staying home. That was a point I was going to go with here. It's becoming where movie theaters are going to be like, I think we lost our last dollar theater.
Yeah, we did a little while ago.
That's what became the AMC, and we lost the one at the other mall that closed down. So all of the theaters we have now are for, not everybody has the kind of money to go out and see a theater. I mean, they're wanting, it's $15 for a single seat.
For a single seat.
And here's my thought process. If I wait just a couple of months, I can pay for it on Amazon for about the same price I would have gone to see it once and watched it as many times as I want at home.
Right.
And annoyed the living crap out of my neighbors because I would have had the sound system up that loud.
Exactly.
And the other thing is yes, they have a great experience, but I don't know how many times I've gone in and I've gotten the world's stalest popcorn.
Right. And how much have you paid for that world's stalest popcorn?
But they get me every time with those collector's buckets.
I
have a few of them that I use. I got my Star Wars buckets every single time.
My son went to the theater and bought. He went to see what was the one with the Jared Leto's Joker?
That's
well, that movie, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He got the collector's Suicide Squad. Yes, he got the collector's popcorn bucket. We still have that. That's still sitting on my refrigerator. We pop popcorn whenever we watch movies. Fill that thing up.
Exactly.
And it's fun.
I got my Star Wars buckets that I fill up for popcorn.
But see, it's not. It didn't take anything away from the movie experience for me. You know what I mean? If I wanted to go to a theater, I was still going to go to a theater.
Exactly.
I'm not one that goes to theaters very often. Unfortunately, Ray, you know that because I can't think of how many times you've invited me to go with you, and I just haven't been able to do it for whatever reason.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean, there's always, for me, there are reasons why going to a theater is not always the easiest option.
Yeah.
And there are other people out
there,
you but I do love the movie theater experience. I love the big screen, the sound system, I'll even, I'll take a chance with buying the stale popcorn.
You'll pay the price for it.
Exactly. That's
the same with my kids. There's the right movie, but a lot of times it's hard because my son's autistic. It's hard for him to sit still. So a lot of times I just go to the movie theaters by myself. And honestly, I kind of enjoy that, just going to a movie. And I prefer, that was for a long time, and it's probably going to be once it opens back up. My Monday nights were movie nights.
Yeah.
I go to the movie theaters. Why? Because they were empty.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we did go and see Deadpool 2 together.
Oh yeah. That was a good movie. And then
I do remember that. Yeah, Eric says that he and one of our other upriggers, Brent, they were involved in the building of that new AMC theater.
Yeah, the refurbishment.
Refurbishing,
when
yeah,
they converted it
putting
from
the
a
new-
dollar theater to the AMC.
Yeah.
And they did a great job. It's a really nice theater inside there.
Mm-hmm.
I like the remodel they did. Yes, I love the big screen, but for the price, it could be.
It better be a good movie.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is like I understand they have to make their money, but it's also got to be worth our money.
Yeah.
So, and honestly, when it comes to streaming, it's so much better because if the movie's crap, I can hit stop and start another movie. And when you're in the theater, all you can do is get up and walk out.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you're like, well, I'm going to paid for this. I'm going to eat it. So
Exactly.
so you sit there begrudgingly crunching on your popcorn. He's going to do this, isn't he? Yeah, he is going to do that.
Hoping the movie is going to get better.
Yep.
but
I could have had happy juice.
It's like it's just not happening.
All right, I think we ready for Cave Jam time?
Yes, let's do the Cave Jam time.
Cave Jam time. This week, I had notes on it, and I don't know if I have it here with me, but I should. Yay!
Cave Jam.
I do. This week's Cave Jam is the EVGA 750 G5, specifically the Supernova G5.
That thing is huge.
No, it is not. The box is huge. It looks
the box
huge.
is huge.
The reason why I want to talk about this, one...
I'm sorry, 1 second.
Yeah.
I apologize. Ellen just made a really good comment.
What's that?
No scary bathrooms.
There you go.
I'm sorry. Very true.
Very
anyway,
true.
now back to the...
So, first and foremost, I am a very strong proponent of, well, when I build computers, I'm very, very particular, and a lot of people, they'll hear me talking about, I am very, very particular about my power supplies.
Oh, absolutely.
For very good reason. You've heard me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm very, very, like, no, you're getting this power supply.
Yep.
I am an EVGA shill. I'm going to say it. I'll be honest. I don't care what you say. I buy EVGA power supplies, and they're for very good reasons. I've bought several in my job, both professionally and personally. I have bought hundreds of power supplies. I know the last time I did a count, which was like last year, I had like 80 EVGA power supplies purchased for the company I work at. It was like 80 or 90 power supplies.
That's a lot of power supplies.
Not one of them. No. Correction. No. No, none of my EVGAs. Not a single EVGA in the 5 years I've been working there and installing them have I had one go bad yet.
Nice.
They are working flawlessly. I literally have one living in my, I'm sitting in my living room. It's a little 500 watt, which is massively, massively overkill, but I did that on purpose. That is running my porch lights that are automated. And yeah, it's one of those where I've plugged them in, turned them on, and walk away from it. But this one I got for a very, very specific reason. My Windhell is going through a revamp. I don't know if you guys saw the pictures on.
I saw
on Instagram. The dual Xeon has been kind of taken out of the picture, and I'm still trying to decide where I want to go with. But I got a Ryzen rig, which is my current build, and I'm going to be doing some case swaps next week on my vacation. But I wanted to get a new power supply because the power supply I kind of got with it is a 600 watt. And even though that's a little bit overkill, I didn't trust the power supply brand. I'm not going to say what it is.
Okay.
But I decided to order me the 750 G5 for one very specific, well, for two reasons.
All
one,
right.
It is a little pricey. It was $140 for this version, but it is a 750 that comes with a 10-year warranty.
This is a good thing.
Very good thing. And I have dealt with EVGA 2 times over the years. Out of all the graphics cards, power supplies, I've had to deal with them 2 times. Probably good 10, 15 years, I'm going to say. And their customer support has always been amazing. I've dealt with them. I've gotten things handled. They cross-ship. You name it. They'll try to work with you to...
they take care of their people.
They really do. They're really great. One time, the mistake was on their end, so they sent me a free T-shirt. I'm happy about that. I should have been wearing it tonight, but I forgot. I guess I'm not that big of a shill as I thought I was. But the other reason I bought this one, not only is it a 750, it's a Supernova, it's the G5. It is an 80 plus, and I'm going to open it.
He's opening it.
I'm going to open it. Well, actually, you can see in the pictures. It is the last 750 I bought was this massive beast, and it barely fit. It was a really really a pain in the butt to get installed in the computer. The main reason I bought that, they threw my keys. I got nothing to crack this open. Oh, I got a pen.
You got a pen?
I thought I had a pen. Here it is. Is that this is a compact, it's a full-size ATX, but if you look at the other 750s, they're a little bit deeper in the case, which makes it hard in certain cases. This one, on the other hand, was the main reason I bought it, is it is the standard size. Oh, it does come with all your cables. Oh, this is a modular power supply too. That means every single cable can be disconnected. It does come with a power supply tester, but this 750 is the same size as a standard power supply.
Nice.
So when you get the 500s, this is the same size. 10-year warranty. The other thing I liked about it was this kind of greenish tint on the.
Yeah,
I just thought it looked really cool. It's actually a full metal grill.
Nice.
The other thing I like about this, I really, really liked about this, and this was another thing that I thought was really cool, is one, it does have an eco button right here, which I'll probably shut off. The other thing, and it's really hard to tell, and a lot of people don't realize how awesome this is, it has got dual sets of screw mounts. So if you ever notice when you install, and those of you guys who have installed power supplies, there's 4 screw holes, and you can only mount the power supply in one way. This one, they have put both sets. So if you don't want the fan blowing down, it has the set matched where you can flip the power supply in the same case this way.
Nice.
So you can kind of build it however you want, and they doubled up the sticker on either side. But yeah, I've been very happy. This is the first one of the G5 series. I've got a G2 that is currently in WinHell that I'm debating on turning that into a FreeNAS box, because this is a dual Xeon. I got to do something with it. But yeah, this is going to go into the next generation of. It's got some nice weight to it, but it's not super heavy. But there's all the connectors. So you can plug in exactly what you need. You'll keep the other one stored up. I did look at they make it. Did you post a link?
I will get it up right now.
All right, he's going to post a link to it so you can see what I'm talking about on Amazon.
I was lost in the sexiness of the whole thing.
Dude, this thing is so pretty. Honestly, every EVGA power supply I have gotten has been nothing but solid and reliable. I've been very, very happy with them.
There's the link, folks. Check it out.
Like I said, a 750 watt, and their 850s are the same size. So if you've got one of those builds where you need a big, juicy power supply in a standard form factor, standard ATX size, the 750 G5 is the one to go with, and a 10-year warranty is next to impossible to beat. Like I said, every EVGA power supply I've had have just ran for years with no issue.
$139.99. Okay, I was curious of the price, but I couldn't remember.
$140 for 750. That's not bad. I remember paying $200 for those for one time. The cables are all sleeve black, so they look really good. They do make, EVGA does make them. They have sleeved cable sets if you want to get them. I did look at them, but unfortunately, at $80 for blues, I almost hit the button, but I didn't.
Now, Retro he said that he just clicked the link and it says it's currently unavailable.
Oh, don't tell me that. Let me look at that. They're currently unavailable.
We were unaware that was going to happen.
Yeah, they're currently, but they will be back.
They sold out. It's like, that's a great price. I want it.
give it back. They literally, I just bought these. They were out. I bought them. They'll be back. This is one of the brand new lines. It's just right now, most computer parts, they're having a hard time keeping stuff in stock because there's
so many people at home with needing something to do.
Well, everybody got everybody got stimulated.
Everybody got stimulated. Yeah.
And you don't understand how many people have been hitting me up because they've just bought new computer parts. I'm not joking. There's a lot of people, and I'm happy for them. Do it. If not, but if you don't need the 750, let me double check that. Let me click the link. Let me see here. The 1,000 watts. Oh, I think the 650 is. Yeah, the 650 is in stock, but it's only like a $5 difference.
Oh, okay.
Like I said, if not the G5, you can go with the G1
Oh,
Plus.
the 650 is available for $133. Retro just said. So.
Yeah, I honestly, it's better to wait until the 750 comes back. But if you need to, you can go with the G3 version, which, I mean, it's still a very good power supply. I think that's still a 5-year warranty on it.
Okay.
Just be careful who you get them through. Who. The problem is like if you look at the G2, that's what I have currently, and that's a big, huge beast. I mean, it's a great power supply. It runs great. It's an amazing power supply. I've had no issues with it, but it's just one of those where it's too big for the cases I'm building. And the G5 is just the perfect size for what I want to do. They'll be back. Give it time. This is EVGA's current line of power supplies. So it's actually an eco one. They are very, very power efficient. They'll be back in stock. Just give them time.
This thing looks beefy. I mean, it looks.
It really is. It really is. But it's not as heavy as you may think. And the finish on it, the finish on these are
really good. It's very pretty. I'm not gonna,
every single EVGA power supply I've ever bought has just run flawlessly. Mm-hmm. I haven't had a single failure in the 5 years I've worked at the office, and the ones before that, like my EVGA G2, I've had for years now.
That's what the power supply in the dual systems that you've given me.
Yeah, the 500s. Yeah, I buy him my standard power supply is the EVGA White 500 watts. Because for budget builds, they're $40 for a power supply. They're good. They've got a 3-year warranty on them, and I've got systems that are almost 5 years old that have been running strong. So running strong with them, and a lot of these systems are running in 24/7 operation.
Nice.
So to say that
So for 5 years that's 24/7 operation. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Very dependable.
They're very dependable. And like I said, if you just need the basic model, you can get that. I went with this one. Like the main reason I looked at was several things. 1, modular. 2, I can flip the power supply around because when I'm custom building computers, I want the option. Mm-hmm. And 3, it's a standard ATX size that does the full 750 watt, and it's a 10-year warranty. It was a 10-year warranty. Honestly, was the selling point. The major thing.
Pushed you over the edge. It was like
exactly
10-year click.
Yeah, the black. Ellen's going. I like the black and green. So did
the black and green is nice. You got the same eyes as me, Ellen.
It's.
I did notice.
I mean, it's a beautiful power supply.
It's got a nice sheen on it. It reflects the light nicely. Retro says, I'll wait. I don't need one right now. I'm saving up for an upgrade, so I'll wait for that one. It's probably the best thing.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it's not an overly... They're so solid built.
Right.
I would not tell people to buy these if I didn't trust them. I hate telling people to buy stuff and then it falls apart because I feel guilty for telling people, even if I'm not making any money telling people to buy these parts, but I want to at least tell people that if they're going to buy something, it's going to work good for them. So this is something that the EVGA power supplies I've trusted. I've had companies before. Now that may change. I'm hoping it doesn't. Case in point, years ago, I used to be a die-hard, what was the name? Like PC Power and Cooling. But that was when it was privately owned. Then it got bought out by another company and yada, yada, yada. And they completely revamped their power supplies. And the last one I got from them, it wasn't as reliable. And I had a couple of failures. I haven't looked back. That's kind of the way I'm a little fickler. And what happened was they started taking... Their company took a couple of their power supply engineers, but effectively what they did was they took the power supplies they already had, started slapping the PC Power and Cooling name on them, and then would send those, and I wasn't happy anymore. So I did a bunch of shopping around. I tried Thermaltake, which are good power supplies. I'm not saying they're bad. They're actually pretty good. Corsairs, Seasonics are really good. But I landed on EVGA years ago, and I've just not had any issues. So that's why I tell people to buy them. It's not that I don't think that other companies aren't as good. I have just had a really good proven track record with EVGA. And me personally, as my personal opinion, they're one of my favorite power supplies. They're extremely reliable, every single one I've ever gotten. And so that's why I feel confident enough in telling people to buy the EVGAs. So
yeah, Retro says he says that's a pretty good price, honestly, for what you get, and I do agree based on everything that you've said. It's really not a bad price. He also says, I'm glad I listened to Ray when I upgraded my graphics card and spent the extra $20 and went with the one that he did, the one that you suggested, Ray.
Yeah.
He said it's amazing. So
yeah, I'm glad that. I'm glad that. There's sometimes, and I'm going to tell you people a lot of that times, you'll hear me say, spend a little bit more here, because that's...
In the long run, you're spending less.
The way you buy computer parts is the same way you buy car parts, and the same way you buy furniture and appliances.
You get what you pay for, and if you want quality, it's a little more money.
Well, it's not just that. You want to compare prices to features and stuff like that.
Right.
And you know there's several manufacturers that have like a dishwasher, but this one has that little bit of feature, and yeah, it's $20 more, but you know that this one's going to be a little bit better. So in the long run, it's better to spend that extra 20 or 30 or 40 bucks. Sometimes spending that little extra money is going to save you more money in the long term, because your ROI, or return on investment, is going to be better if you spent that little bit more at the beginning.
Exactly.
So EVGAs, that's where I'm at on that. And I am going to, next week on my vacation, I'm going to be live streaming me doing the new rebuild of Windhell. I'm still not 100% set on what I'm going to do, because I'm still at that point of, I really want to do this, but I also want to do this, and I also want to do this, and I also want to do this. So I'll be doing that all weekend. And eventually...
He'll be coming to his final decision.
Well, I'll be probably when the camera starts rolling. Okay, I got to figure it out.
Yep.
I got to get it figured out now. Point of no return.
Oh, that's funny.
So yeah, EVGA, the G5 series power supplies. Give them a try. I like them. They're great. I love me some good juicy juice here. So
juicy juice.
Power supply supplies the juice, man.
Not the happy juice. The happy juice comes from a completely different source.
Oh, but what I was saying earlier, and I kind of alluded to it, and I didn't quite get clarify on that. One thing I'm always going to tell people, and I always tell people, don't overspend, but spend the right money on a power supply. And that's kind of why I'm very particular about it. Okay. The main reason is your power supply is what's converting and conditioning, converting AC to DC and regulating that DC so it doesn't fry your components. Okay. And you can have all the protection you want on the motherboard, but that protection only going to do some well. Your power supply is the biggest defense on your system. Okay. And nothing will make or break a good system than where power comes in, and that is your power supply. I have told people till they're blue in the face, you can save some money on a motherboard. Do not shave the money off on your power supply. Don't overpay for a power supply. Don't buy too much more. I'm a big proponent of buying, if you need 500 watts, get a 700 watt, because a power supply runs cooler and is more efficient when you're not running it at load. But the also most important is a power supply that will fail on you. A cheap power supply, a lot of times when a power supply goes, if it does a hard failure, it just might take other components with it.
Yeah.
And absolutely. I have worked on systems where a cheap power supply was used on good hardware. The power supply went and took the motherboard and hard drives with it.
Ouch.
A good power supply will make or break a system. You will not see cheap power supplies on high-end overclocker builds. You will not see cheap power supplies on high-end gaming rigs. You just won't, because that is the one thing they know, that in order to get those good numbers, in order to have a rock-solid system, you have to have the most crucial base component must be good, and that is the power supply. And it doesn't have to be EVGA. It could be Seasonic. It could be Thermaltake. It could be Corsair. EVGA is my go-to because I've just had such good work with them. I have had very good luck with their power supplies. And like I said, I've got about 80 to 100 of them in service, running in 24/7 operation. They have given me little to no issues whatsoever. So that's why I'm a diehard fan. Not that I've gotten any kickback from EVGA at all. I have no communication with them. I've just had very good luck with them.
This is all based on his experience.
My experience working
really
with my job, building computers for friends, and honestly, these go into my personal rigs. So that's how much I enjoy, how much I appreciate EVGAs and stuff like that.
Nice. Now Little Retro says, hey guys, Revenge of the Fifth.
Nice.
Nice.
Revenge of the 5th. Oh, we got stuff here for the 5th.
Yeah. happy 5th.
Yep. All right. I think it's time to go on. I babbled on about a power supply again, like I normally do. That kind of happens with me. I had a bunch of other notes here to talk about, but I didn't.
Oh, this is the big one though, man.
This is
probably
what a lot of people have been like, dude. When are they gonna shut up and talk about it?
Right.
So, I don't know if anybody guys. Oh wow, we really did talk about that.
Yeah.
We'll go over again tonight. That's usually what happens. So, if you guys don't know, there was a massive data leak dropped from Nintendo source code.
It was bad, folks. I mean,
all right. So basically, I know some of the information got leaked on 4chan, but there is a massive data dump that covers software and hardware from the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, and I believe the Nintendo Wii. So now what has gotten dropped is basically this is serious. This is like pretty big because data sets on hardware for the consoles have been dropped. And what they are is that this is specific information on how the hardware operates and how software functions with the hardware. So...
And Nintendo is very secretive about all their...
Well, the indie company is. This is internal documents. This is documents that should never be released. And... the thing is, it's like one person goes, the biggest and craziest thing of this leak is the data sheets.
Yeah.
Block diagrams and Verilog files for every component. Verilog is a hardware description language. It is used to describe circuits via code. So with this, we can learn how every single piece of the Wii was made.
They got the information.
And... what's going to happen is, I think 3 gigs or 3 terabytes. I can't remember how much got dumped right away.
I'll look around and see if I can see that.
The 3 gigabytes.
Yeah, 3 gigabytes of files
have
been released. Yep. But some 4chan posters there and elsewhere believe that these leaks are only a small part of a much bigger cache.
A proprietary company that has yet been released. Nintendo hasn't responded, but basically, it gives it's into leaking. Functioning ROMs for various N64 hardware, test demos, created test off the shows for show off the 1996 console's capabilities. There's footage on some of these. There's the Mirror House Cornflakes, shows a polygonal character navigation in a maze, while another one called Morph Demo shows the hardware handles the surface of a 3D object and its size and shape change. There was some other stuff. I found some other websites that had some information. They go, it was on a Restore Threads, Nintendo leak appears to contain a wealth of information regarding source codes for Boot 012, the Wii operating system, and the Wii SDK library. There's also information on the GameCube's various systems.
That's a lot of information to be leaked.
There's also a comments on where the leak may originally. They say the files seem to come from a server hack related to Brought-On Company, who Nintendo hired for developing most of the Wii hardware and software.
They close out by saying that there could be more information.
Essentially, one of the third-party companies that helped Nintendo design these got hacked, and someone did a mass. Now I gotta feel. Here's the thing: to pull that much data, it took them some time. So they waited until they pulled down. If 3 gigs came down and got dumped already, I'm pretty sure they found there's a bunch more out there.
Oh yeah.
Do expect. I'm going to tell you this. Do expect that emulators are going to be getting very, very good for the Nintendo 64, the GameCube, and the Wii. They're going to get really good here soon because people now have all the hardware specs, all the information that they wish they knew. Now they have. They know exactly how the hardware functions, exactly how software interfaces with it. So taking that information and knowing we have the ROMs and we can emulate the hardware because we know exactly how it is. We have all the diagrams, all the information. Yeah, emulators are going to get real good.
Yeah, that's what Retro just asked. He asked, so what would someone do with that information? Possibly create a clone? Or what information could someone use with how a Wii was made?
Technically, yes. Okay, so technically, yes. They could use that to make a clone. One problem with that. Even though that data was leaked, Nintendo still owns it.
Right.
So if somebody tries to make a clone of the Nintendo 64 or the Wii using this information, it'll be very easy to figure that out. Not only that, Nintendo will be able to sue the living crap out of them. I guarantee you there's going to be some people that'll do it, but it'll be some backdoor kind of stuff.
Yeah, some out of the garage kind of stuff.
Yeah. You're going to see some Chinese companies kind of make some bootleg stuff. Because now that they have all the specs, it's not going to be hard to do.
Right.
But even if they do, they'll get in some serious trouble for that.
If they get caught.
But
so in theory,
yeah.
what you're saying, let me ask for you to break it down in layman's terms, okay? Mm-hmm. Considering what you've just said. In theory, at least, somebody could take all this information, they could build a cloned Nintendo Wii, and they could sell it to somebody. Somebody could go and buy Wii games and play it on it.
Exactly. Now, okay, so here's the thing. I don't think they'll make an exact clone. What they'll do is they're going to look at the way the hardware, make a close clone, but also omit out all the security lockouts.
Right.
Because there's a bunch of those. Nintendo is getting better and better every generation with higher security, prevent copy protection, prevent copy disk. Well, now everybody has all the diagrams of how they do that. So now you got to remember, though, there's still some custom chips. So them being able to do it is still going to be a fairly financial and a pretty good financial investment.
Yeah.
But could they do it? Yes. Because now they have every bit. Before, you got to remember, they can figure out what chip it is, but what's the software on it? Well, now they have all that source code.
Yeah, okay.
They have all the source code. They have all the hardware specs. They have all the diagrams, everything. They have everything. Every little bit of those consoles have now been made available for everybody to go. So all the guys that are repairing them, I guarantee. Here's one thing I hope, and this is the one thing I hope. And I know Nintendo's not going to like it. I don't care. I want to see people take this and make replacement chips and replacement parts for those consoles. Nintendo's not going to do anymore. That's fine. I get that. But let's allow people to keep repairing what's out there to keep them functioning.
Robin Hooding it. That's what we're saying.
Exactly.
Get out there.
Exactly.
Keep the old systems running.
Exactly. Give us replacement parts. There's still a bit of, there's still companies out there selling Nintendo parts, but there's parts in the consoles that they can't duplicate because they don't have the specs for it. Well, now with the GameCube and the Wii, they're going to be able to do that.
Yep.
Here's the thing. Here's what I can see somebody doing. They could easily remake a manufacturer, because they have all the specs to do it now, a replacement main board for those consoles and sell them. Not to sell them as a console, but as replacement parts. They could still get sued by Nintendo for that, unless they got authorization to do it. And I know they're not going to want people to do that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, though. The cat's already out of the bag, so where do they go from here?
Right.
But here's what I'm hoping. I do expect, being as this information out there, all the emulators are going to get so much better now.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to see some those emulators really getting better here soon, because here's what's been happening in the past. They've literally been going through and probing all the chips and trying to reverse engineer all those consoles to try to understand as best they can, but there's still that software layer. There's still software in there that you can't quite do that because it runs, but that software never comes out of the processor. It stays in those chips and just functions and does its functions. You can know what goes in and you know what comes out, but you don't know how it processes and does those changes. With these new specs, you know exactly what's happening now. So to emulate those functions, and it could be easily done. You got to remember, most of those processors are really low end. To emulate those in software now on hardware is going to be really, really easy, especially now that they have the information. So I expect some really good emulators coming out. Expect more dumps to come out. And expect that company to really, really be in trouble by Nintendo because
Yeah.
we'll find out if that company still exists in 6 months.
Right. If that long.
Well, it may be something like this where they just kind of fold up, close up shop, and just become a new company down the road.
Yeah.
So, we got any more questions?
That was it.
Yeah, so that was a major one. That was a major, it's one of those major leaks that happened this.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for Nintendo, but I'm really, really excited for the emulation side of things because means we're going to have some. Nintendo 64s were especially hard to emulate, especially on the Raspberry Pi. I expect to be so buttery smooth here soon. Actually, someone just released a 4K version of the Nintendo the Mario 64.
Oh wow.
And I've been meaning to find it. I don't know if it's legit, or I don't even think it's legal. It may be considered piracy, but I don't care. I still want to check it out. I mean, there's guys literally. Somebody's was running Mario 64 on a 5K super wide monitor, and it was just like running smooth.
Nice.
I was like, "Oh, that's pretty. that's very pretty." So, all right. Well, that's on that. You guys heard me babble about my power supply, and yeah, next week I'll be doing this. Oh, retro next week. I plan on doing the video. I'm gonna try to get the Windows 98 box done. Yes, I'll be working on the Windows 98. Everything finally came in. I got the monitor adapters. I got the new VGA cards that I showed you. I got the sound cards that I got you. Yeah, whole 9 yards. So 32 gig SD card, because what you had in there was a 30 gig and it was an old Mac Store, which was a great drive, but damn it, it's old. I just don't. It's an old platter drive. It's better to keep it and just keep it around than try to redo it. Plus, I was going to have to redo Windows anyway. So fresh install of Windows 98, baby. Yeah. I may do a video on that too because it's still kind of a trick. Let's see here. What else we got? We've had all the news? I know that's all the news. We got anything else we got to talk about?
I think that's it.
All right.
We're at about an hour anyway, so.
Okay, cool. Well, that's going to about wrap it up for tonight. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with us and joining us. You guys were amazing in chat. I really want to appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Were going nuts.
It's always
Sorry we
awesome.
didn't even get to all of it, but man, you guys were going nuts. Next week, we should be back. I'm going to be on vacation next week, but my current plan is to have a Tuesday night show. So we should be here. I need to stop saying so much.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see here. I need to finish up my Happy Juice, and then but next week we'll have a show. I'll be on vacation, so should have a little bit better show. Anyway, for those of you guys at home, be safe. Anything else? Beard, you be safe too.
Yeah.
If you shave the beard off, I may have to kick you off the show. I'm just saying. I'm still a little upset you said that. It kind of hurt me deeply. I was personally attacked because you said you were going to shave off the beard, or maybe the beard was projecting onto me and it's fear. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Enjoy your Happy Juice, people. Happy Cinco de Mayo, Return of the Fifth, pre-warm days, summer coming up.
Don't remind me.
Anyway, you guys have a great week. Have a great time. If anything, I'll see you guys Thursday night on Twitch. We do our gaming session. Last week we did Q-Pong. We're still deciding what we're going to do this week. So we'll see you guys then. Have a great one.
Take it easy, folks. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to give us a like if you haven't already done that. Subscribe is always nice, too. And share us with your friends. You never know.
Oh, yeah. Check us out on Podbean as well.
Yep, Podbean.
iTunes.
All of you on the Podbean checking us out. Thank you. And, yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. We'll see you later.